Hello. Welcome back to Mik'd. Today is Wednesday, September 10th. We have a very special show for you today. Not only is Lloyd in studio producing the shit out of our show, but our co-host, our two-time national champion, one time in football, one time in baseball, top 100 football recruit coming out of high school, plays quarterback right-handed, plays baseball left-handed. If you listen to the regional games of the Little League World Series, you heard him in the booth, and he was giving his insight. Co-host of the show, Jared Mitchell, not in his town of Houston, Texas, but in his new home, or his old home,
back of the saddle
of the Mik'd Up studio here at Indigo Papers. Jay, welcome back to the studio, Coach. It's been a minute. I'm very excited. I got a lot more energy today because my friend's in town. The band is back together, and we got a great show for you today. It's Mikey, so it's Wednesday.
Oh, it's Mikey.
It is Mikey.
It is Mikey. It's Mikey here talking to you, but it is Wednesday. Ask Mikey and Mitch. Throw your questions in the chat. We will get to as many as we can. But before that, we have Chris Doering coming on the show at 6:35. ESPN college football analyst, SEC network analyst, All-American from Florida, All-SEC from Florida. We are going to obviously talk LSU Florida and the matchup that's this weekend that has had so many historic games over the course of their history. But, obviously he's very, very close to the Florida team, but he's also very close to the SEC in general. So we're going to ask his opinion around the SEC, what to expect for this weekend, where the matchups lie, what he likes, what he doesn't like, all of those good things that he's going to have a lot more answers to than we will. A lot of news coming out of LSU camp this week. Braylon Moore, obviously a lot of conversation about the center, high ankle sprain, not a high ankle sprain. Is he going to be playing? Probable, questionable. What is he? Well, he practiced yesterday, or he practiced today, supposed to practice tomorrow. Brian Kelly said probably going to be upgraded to probable on the injury report. Probably probable on the injury report. Looks like he is going to be playing, which is obviously huge for the continuity and getting the starting O-line back together. Tre'Davious White not as
Tre'Davious Green.
I mean, why do I say that?
Tre'Davious White.
I know. I got mixed. Me and you do that a little bit. Tre'Davious Green.
Don't lump me in with you.
No, you do. You put Anthony Richardson. You can't say his name. You put two people together.
Yeah, sure.
You do.
I do. I've done it at a time or two.
Tre'Davious Green doesn't look
Tre'Davious White.
Stop doing that. Tre'Davious Green doesn't look as promising. Obviously, his knee injury was a sprained MCL, a little bit more severe than the ankle injury. But getting Braylon Moore back in the lineup is a huge thing going forward. LSU baseball 2026 schedule has been released. Seems like they don't want them to go back-to-back, trying to make their life as hard as they can. Their road schedule a doozy. Pretty difficult.
Come on, Texas.
Don't love that we're not getting the return trip from Texas. We got screwed from the football return trip in 2020 with COVID, right? So they didn't come back when we went over there. Then now they're in the SEC, and you felt like, we went there one year, they're going to come back the next year. Not the case. Don't love that. Don't love that they're not playing Arkansas. And their road schedule is extremely difficult. Defending national champs, go out there and do what you got to do to defend your title and your crown, but they're going to make it a little difficult. What?
I was going to say, guess who does come to town, though? Somebody very familiar with Baton Rouge.
Yep. Coach Paul Manero.
Oh, Paul.
They could not miss the opportunity of that storyline to have Coach Manero back in Baton Rouge as a visitor.
Clear U Club.
He ain't gonna be playing golf. He's playing golf, Coach. That's
he could be a one
not
seed.
Good. Huh?
They might be number one in the country. Maybe he's got time.
You never know. Maybe he feels real good about where he's at.
Maybe, go meet some potential. Some guys with some kids that maybe want to play ball at South Carolina. Maybe not LSU, but possibly South Carolina.
Maybe. We'll see. But, yeah, that'll be a big matchup when they get to Baton Rouge, obviously, in the spring. A lot to talk about. A lot of baseball conversations to be had, but we're here to talk football. Chris Doering coming on at 6:35. LSU at home against Florida. The bands are back. the color bands, the light up things that I thought they were going to ban after the Ole Miss game whenever they were being chucked onto the field from the
Henry Rodengartner.
Yeah, from the top level.
Does this have the possibility of being like one of the rowdier games in history? Like BK's already come out and kind of like challenged the crowd.
Yep.
They're bringing these bands back, and by all accounts, the last time they had these bands here,
Disaster.
they all said no shot in hell they're having them again because they're going to be
And they're playing
out of
Florida,
control.
who they don't like.
And they're playing Florida,
Who
and
beat us
Florida's
last year.
coming in, and does this have the possibility to be one of the crazier games we've seen here in a minute?
It feels like it. Yeah, I hope so, because I like when games are rowdier. The energy is amazing. But, yeah, it feels that way. It feels like it's shaping up to be a game where LSU is going to have no excuse but to come out here and play with a lot of energy, play with a lot of passion, and play well. Right? That's the big thing is the play well part. You know, I think the defense is going to continue to do the stuff that they've been doing. Can the offense have more rhythm? I don't want to say, they need to go put up 40 points, but let's just have more rhythm, a little bit more continuity, not make simple mistakes that they've kind of been making that has kind of set them back and ruined some of that momentum and some of that rhythm. Can they put it together? You know, Nuss hit a couple deep balls. Can the running game be sustained? Can you have the balance of what you need to be that SEC team and to be that national championship contender? We'll find out. Those are questions that we're going to ask Chris Doering. Also, you know, Florida is returning a ton from last year. Obviously, their starting quarterback who played very well at the end of the year. Last year as a freshman coming back, a lot of high expectations. Their running back, super talented. Top 5 offensive line, top 5 defensive line in the country right now, according to PFF rankings. So a ton of talent up front. They haven't really put it together. What is the reason? Why haven't they done that? The talent's there. Why hasn't the talent meshed? Is it a culture problem? Is it just, hey, they're just a lot of guys that they haven't played well together yet? Now, they lost to USF. Everybody's making a big deal about that. Should be non-ranked team beating a highly ranked team, in-state, kind of little brother, big brother type stuff. USF's a good team. We talked about that last week before the game started. Hey, be careful. This USF-Florida game, after watching USF play Boise and absolutely boat racing them, seems like it could be a little bit of a challenge for Florida. They were physical on defense. They did the exact same thing against Florida as they did against Boise State defensively. Quarterback's physical. Florida lost that game, but it seems like USF could be a little bit better than anticipated as the season goes on.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, like this Florida team last year, it took them a good minute to get going. It took them a while to gel, and you would hope, if you're an LSU fan, that that same kind of formula is going on for them again this year. Last year, they finished the year with 4 straight wins. You thought that they were going to kind of carry that momentum into this year, and so like all accounts, like they played a, I guess you can call it a good game, but it was obviously a non-factor type opponent in game 1. Well, you turn that around and you play USF. It's obviously a good ball club. They beat a ranked team in game 1. They go into your house in game 2, and they beat you there as well. So we've learned so far that like the USF team they're not to be kind of looked over. You wonder, was that a good ball club? Did Florida just not get it done?
Right.
Obviously, there was mistakes that was made. It wasn't the cleanest of ball games that was played. But you're wondering, like, hey, do they get that thing kind of going earlier? Do they get the momentum flowing? They have all these returners. They have these guys that have played. You have a starting quarterback who's not in, like, full year number 2, but he is in year 2 in the system, right? And if they're able to kind of turn that on, if they're able to kind of hit that urgency switch this week in Death Valley, I think we're brewing for a good ball game because this was going to be a good one. This was one I had circled on the schedule early in the year before the year even started, just because I thought this is one that could tell a lot for LSU season, right? Like, you go on the road to start the year. We all knew that was a tough test. Then you got to turn around, and you're going to have to do this 2 weeks later. We're used to seeing a Florida-LSU matchup when we get to, like, pretty much October.
Right.
Like, beginning, middle of October.
Right.
It feels weird that Death Valley for the first SEC game is going to be bringing in a Florida Gators squad in the first half of September. That's not that normal. So I knew this was going to be one that you can kind of circle and look forward to, and I think it's that. It's not because both teams are 2-0 at this point, but it is because there's talent there.
Yep.
You know that there's urgency that has now been created if it was not already there. Can they come here and perform as well?
Correct. And you saw what they did last year, Florida, right? Whenever they had the sense of urgency and they looked like, Billy Napier looked like he was doomed and it was over, and they were just hey, get rid of them midseason. They don't do that. They right the ship. They get a bunch of momentum. They win against some teams that they shouldn't have won. LSU being one of those teams where if you go look at the stats, LSU dominated that game but did not win. They lost by double digits to a Florida team. They're coming in here desperate, talented, desperate, right? Playing a rival that they don't like. They're going to come in here with a chip on their shoulder with a lot of intensity, a lot of energy, trying to say, you know what, we're not going anywhere. We have the ability to win every single game and trying to ruin LSU's start to their season, right? So it's going to be a tough game, I believe. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think if LSU plays, I don't say plays, if LSU if LSU plays the same way they played against Louisiana Tech, not hitting the plays that they should hit, they're not going to be able just to get away with it like they did last weekend. They know that. Brian Kelly knows that. It doesn't take a genius to understand that, but in a game like this, in the SEC against a talented team, you've got to be able to hit the plays when they're there, right? And I'm not saying the extraordinary, outrageous plays. Like, yeah, you want to hit those too. But the big plays that are open, that you have schemed up, that you've ran the right way, you've executed the right way, you've got to hit those, and you've got to convert on those plays in order to win the game. And in order to actually, I would believe if they do that, I believe LSU could probably run away with it a little bit at the end of the game. Not saying blow them out, but it could be a one-possession game, big play over the middle on 3rd and 10, and now all of a sudden they score a touchdown and go up 2 scores, late in the 4th and kind of go home with that. But they have to hit the plays. Can't do what you did last weekend against La Tech and be a little sloppy in that.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not saying that the ending stat line of what I'm about to say has to be something like so crazy, but this is truly game 3 of the season right now. This is truly one of those games that I honestly think Nuss's stamp has to be on.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree with that.
I honestly think that has to be – I'm not saying he's got to go out there and throw for 350. I'm not saying he's got to have 4 touchdowns. But there has to be moments in this game where I'm like, yeah,
that's the guy.
Yeah.
That's the number 1 pick of the draft.
That's it right there. Yeah.
Right,
That's what I truly got to feel about this game. Second half of the Clemson game, very good game. He managed the game well. He showed you why, hey, my floor is super damn high, right? And when I hit the ceiling, you're going to look at me and say, hey, this guy's all world, right? We didn't see that last week. It wasn't his best game. Now, by no means I'm going to go sit here and say it was a bad game, but we didn't see his best game. He got the job done again. This is a game, in my opinion, where Nuss's stamp has to be on it. I don't know what that final line looks like in terms of stats for him, and I'm not saying that it has to be crazy, but there has to be moments where you like.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Let me ask you this. What does that look like in your eyes, right? Because you said, it doesn't have to throw for 350. I agree with that. A Nuss-stamped game, what does that mean? Right? I know what I mean. I want to hear what you have to say because I think we're in agreement on this, and then I'm going to give you my opinion. But what does that look like from your eyes?
For me, 1 to 3 drives, however it comes, whether it's you're ending the second half trying to put that next score on there to give you the ball back in the second half, whether it's a ball game's close all the way through, and now I need you, that got to have it, that go get it moment in the 4th quarter where I'm not saying it has to be the absolute last drive, but that got to have it moment where you go drive down and score. Those kind of things need to happen. Maybe some 3rd downs that look the part where I need to see that guy show up, play with anticipation, play with great ability to have accuracy on these throws, and doing stuff where you're like, that's next level.
Yeah.
This is the game I need to see that.
Yeah, completely agree. I think it's, there needs to be either, in my head, there needs to be a response drive, whether maybe they gave up some points, come back and score a touchdown, or there needs to be, hey, defense just got a 3 and out. You got the ball back and go there and kind of capitalize on that momentum, right? Those are the drives that I will talk. It doesn't have to be score every single drive. I also think there needs to be, there's going to be some third down and long situations where he's going to have to make a throw, an NFL-style throw that is, not like most quarterbacks, right? And that's what I think you need to see from that. In my eyes, is a Nuss stamp game. Doesn't have to be 350 with 4 tuds.
Yeah. Yep.
So, we'll see what happens. I thought you texted me.
No. I was I was like, that's what we think about it. But like Lloyd, like, what do you see? Like, in this game, you going into like, where do you think that this thing should be? Where do you think you want to see to feel good on the other side? Not necessarily say like, oh, this is a national championship team, but to make sure that team is like ascending and building in the way that they need to be, to where truly like, I want to see you hitting your stride the back half once you get to Halloween, once you get to the beginning of November, to make sure that that's where it looks like they're heading towards, if you will.
It does feel a bit odd to be playing Florida this early in the year, doesn't it?
It does.
It's like this feels like you would say like a mid-October type football game that you would have like kind of know which the two teams are, like with old Florida.
You said that
rivalry.
weather changing just
right.
little bit
Right.
for fantasy Florida.
Now we have gotten great weather last few mornings.
No. I'm
Actually,
talking not the mornings.
This morning
not the mornings. I'm literally talking about like, it's a little bit cooler.
Yeah,
we're not really hitting 85 on the temperature right now.
Yeah.
Like we hitting maybe that 80.
Texas weather ball.
Try.
Yeah. That's what I'm used to once we get Florida in.
Yeah, and then you know who's real and who's not by that point. Like
Yeah.
when it's Tim Tebow coming into Tiger Stadium, you know what you got. Like this is a battle of this could be a national championship preview. And but that was standing. It's obviously early in the year, but you do have kind of that kind of pressure on LSU that starts 2-0 for the first time in 5 years. You see Florida go 1-1 after a game that they played against LSU last year. I'm going to read some of these numbers out because they're insane of what happened in 2024. If I told you that the team that held the ball for 41 minutes and 43 seconds had
And how many minutes are in a football game?
60, I believe.
Okay.
Had it for 41 minutes and 43 seconds. That means another team had it for 18 minutes.
Yeah, more than double.
Triple. And,
Well.
yeah, I know. Ran the ball 44
math,
times for 130 yards. Also threw it 48 times for 262 yards.
A lot of plays being run on the offensive side of football.
Had nearly 400 yards of total offense and was 13 of 24 on third down and 25 first downs. Do you think that team won or lost the football
You would
game?
imagine with all that they would won. That they had won.
Handily.
Yes.
You lost.
By double digits.
LSU lost by
Right?
11 points, 27 to 16, and it shouldn't have even have been that. Because Florida ran, I believe, let me check my math here as I had pulled it up on my calculator, 43 plays to LSU had run the ball 44 times.
Right.
And you lost in a game where they had the ball for 18 minutes, and DJ Lagway kind of had his coming out party where he was super efficient.
Had
but
some big throws.
Clearly, they were 3 of 9 on third down, but those are the types of things and that was the first time you saw Brian Kelly kind of insert himself into the offense and became a very much ball control. Let's do it this way, try to limit what Nuss does offensively, limit the turnovers. Let's kind of play to our defense a little bit, and it did not work. But I wonder if you see after what you saw from I would say Sloan put on a very good, performance in week 1, a little bit lackluster week 2. It seems like the barometer always starts pointing to him when LSU struggles.
Right.
You can't say anything about Blake Baker.
And I will say this. Well, are you doing your thought? I don't want to cut you off.
Oh, no, I just wonder if this is another time where Brian Kelly, who's kind of scouted this Florida defense, and a lot of returners, if he goes, hey, I had a good game plan, let's kind of get back to some of the things that I wanted to do, which was ball control, run the football, and they went for it on 4 times on fourth down.
Right, and look, maybe so, but I'll go back a little bit to last week. They weren't great, they weren't sharp, but if they go out there and they just make two plays that should be made, that has nothing to do with the play calling or anything other than just a player not executing in a situation where the guy was open or the hole, whatever it was. Right, it falls squarely on the players. If they make just two of those plays, the game looks a lot different. It looks more 35-7 or 40. You have a couple more touchdowns that are being put on the board. Big play down the left side that Nuss tells you he makes 10 times out of 10. A couple other passes that were dropped. It just feels like a couple plays here, and you're still going to come back and we're still going to talk about how it wasn't sharp and it wasn't clean and it was a little clunky, but you're not talking about a 23-7 win. You're talking about a 35-7 win, and
it just looks better.
It
on
looks
the board.
better, right? What I'm saying is, as bad as it was and as bad as that narrative is, because fans are going to do that, they were but just a few plays off from making it not look as bad.
And here's the thing: at the end of the day, that's usually the margin between good teams in this league.
Correct.
But I will say this: I feel like I do this a lot, but I also realize what's going on the other side, and also realize the narrative in the situation that it is for them. Understand when you got embarrassed and beat at home by a team that's supposed to not be a good team. I think we're finding out that South Florida USF is a pretty damn good team, right?
Yep.
It's a team that's supposed to not be a good team. So when you're the first one that kind of loses to them in that situation, especially in your home state, right? Like that's a rival against your home state. That's not one you want to lose against. You're literally recruiting right against them, primarily against them and obviously the other two big schools in Florida. But when you lose to them and you're the first ones to lose to them, it's a slap in the face. It's a wake-up call. Now, I'm not exactly sure how this message is being given to the players and the rest of the team, but you'd be a damn fool to think that when the coaches close the doors and they sit down and have a conversation and say, hey, we need momentum. We need to get going, because when I look at the schedule, if you think LSU's schedule is tough coming up, when I look at the schedule for them, it's, all right, brother, we got to go on the road to LSU. Cool, we'll back that up, and we got to go on the road to Miami. Cool, we'll back that up, and we got to play Texas at home. Cool, we'll back that up, and we got to go on the road to A&M. Then they got to go and play Mississippi State, who at that point may prove to be a little bit better than we all thought they were.
Just beat their top 15
They just beat
team.
their ranked team, right? And then right after that, they play Georgia at home. So I say that because you're not getting through that part of the schedule. Like, if you don't get momentum going, Billy may be looking for a new job as soon as November 1 rolls around.
Right.
Now, like, I'm not trying to be funny, but like that's
No
kind
doubt.
of what you're looking at. So you got to imagine that there is a heightened sense of urgency in how they go about their message this week.
Correct.
You're not getting some team coming in here that's looking ahead, won't be ready for the job. You need to meet and match that intensity and take the fight to them.
Correct. And I think that LSU is going to have no problem doing that for a couple of reasons. One, it was kind of embarrassing the way you lost last year against them. Right? Now you get them at home.
Everything but win.
Right. Last week was not a good showing for you. You've heard about that all week, right? You have, a rival coming. They understand it. And so I would imagine, Florida's coming in with a chip on their shoulder. That's not going to obviously shock LSU. I think LSU is prepared for that. But, yeah, you're right. They got to come out there and they got to play well. They can't start off tiptoeing through this thing because Florida's going to smack them in the face. And then if they get a little confidence, right, it's not like an underdog team who doesn't have talent and you let them hang around to the fourth quarter and they come back and bite you. No. You let this team get some confidence early in the game and they start feeling themselves a little bit, they're going to be a dangerous team because they're good enough to be a dangerous team.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good ball club. So
I think it's important to get off to a hot start.
And that's why I said, I'm not sitting here saying that this has to be a 350-yard game because by nature, kind of what's going on and how the season has started, I'm not sure I see it as that. But Nuss's stamp has got to be on this one.
Yep.
This has got to be one of the ones where you're like, yes, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
I see it. Make some big-time throws, make some big-time plays in key situations, and kind of start announcing yourself that this team is here and this team is ready to really start rolling. It's ready to start kicking it up and start building to where you're seeing, all right, they're going.
Correct. Lloyd? I thought you were about to say something. You gave me the normal sit back, I'm ready.
No,
Well,
I just love that version of the football game. For Nuss to have, I guess you would say Ole Miss, a little bit of, he hasn't really had a coming out party. He's had his big time moment, I would say, against Ole Miss. He comes back against Oklahoma, comes back, wins you the football game after you saw what A.J. Swan can deliver, which people wanted to see at some points last year where they were kind of rooting for A.J. Swan to get in the game. Then you saw it this is what
people are ridiculous.
This is what you wanted.
Yeah, people are ridiculous.
Don't forget what you got with Nuss, but I would like to see.
Was it Gladiator? Is this your king? No, it's Troy.
Yes,
Troy.
This is your guy.
This is your guy.
But you haven't seen Nuss really dominate from tip to tail a football game where it's been you could say he did against Clemson, the numbers weren't there, but the way he played was very impressive. But to have Nuss kind of have that, okay, if we're going to throw it 35 times, 38 times, where he hits the big throw, he's kind of that same kind of control you had against Clemson, which makes me ask, do they go back to that version of the game plan with the Florida defensive line? That
With the game plan they had against Clemson?
Yes.
I think you're going to see it more closer to that compared to what you saw against Louisiana Tech. Now, you saw some creative.
That was for Nuss. That game plan was tailor-made for him to have a big game.
Right. And you saw some creative run schemes. You saw some, getting the receivers the ball more. You gave Barry and Brown more rushes than you did in the first game. You're going to see some of that. But I think what you're going to see is a lot more of the Clemson game managing it, but I think you're going to see him make some more big throws. More than he made throws when he needed to against Clemson, but I think you're going to see him make, even more of those against Florida. I think it's going to be more of the offense that they were trying to get to through the course of the year, as opposed to just dink and dunk. He's going to give what the defense gives him. He's going to take what the defense gives him. Like, he's not going to force it. But yeah, I think you're going to see something closer to that.
Hey, did you see what you just did? You see that?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is. It's a slow build, man. Like, you got to understand, like, once again, you start camp, there isn't a lot of they don't do a lot of live stuff. So by all intents and purposes, by all intents and purposes, like, you're going into the other Death Valley to open your season against a top 5 ball club. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
In terms of being able to hitting on all cylinders, in terms of having the playbook wide ass open, and also I'll throw it to you on the other side of it is why am I going to open the playbook like that? Well, like, right. I understand it's super important and it's at the top of the priority list to win game 1, to go 1-0, to start your season off on the right foot. But knowing where you are, knowing the landscape of what college football is today, knowing that, hey, we as a staff, coaching staff, support staff, we should have the infrastructure here to make sure we have the mindsets in the right place if we somehow don't score more points than the other team when we leave Clemson, South Carolina, to be able to get this thing to right, quote unquote, right the ship and make sure we can go in the right direction going forward. Like, you should have all those things in place. And so why I'm saying that is because you go play there, and I'm not saying it's some, like, limited playbook, if you want to call it that. But there also is, you got to think of, there also is there has to be other shit, other wrinkles, other ways of throwing stuff that we're obviously not opening up in game 1. Right. I expect there to be a mesh of the last two. Like, I don't foresee a world where Nick Anderson goes unused again as much as he was in game 1. I think he's a big part of this program. I mean, the game plan this week, and it continues to build because, 1, because of the trade desk situation, but 2, because that's where we are in the season. You're opening up the SEC slate. You're getting into the year. You're now about to play your 3rd full game. You're building on these things that you've done all year. I think you start the game and you start trying to find, quote-unquote, dink and dunk rhythm throws that's going to get him into the game plan. But I expect to see a nice mesh of what you saw in game 1 and game 2.
I agree. And look,
in terms of play calling.
And we've talked about this, and I understand that there's different ways to get the rushing yardage. But I also do want to see Caden Durham be able to get going a little bit. Which, look, he had 16 carries for 71 yards against Clemson. Like, that's 4.5 yards a carry. I'm good with that. You know what I mean? Like, you got to see him kind of getting in the flow of this offense, right? Because if he's really good, that takes the offense to a next level, and it helps Nuss out tremendously. Not saying he needs the help, but I guarantee if you ask him, hey, would you rather not have a running game or have a running game, he'd say, I'd rather have the running game, right? That opens up the entire playbook. That opens up the offense. That allows him to kind of stay in rhythm and stay, ahead of the chains and put themselves in gettable 3rd downs and not have all the pressure of having 3rd and longs. And so I want to see that from the running game. I want to see a physical running game. I want to see a running game that, is 3rd and 2 and you feel confident of them getting the 2 yards.
To hell with the physical game. I want to see, like, just for one time, I want to see, like, Caden break one, like, a big run.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't know exactly where the run game is going to be. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to be from attempt to attempt, but I want to see some shit open up to where he can kind of get loose and start going and start rumbling a little bit. And he like, oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. And then, however it goes back to it after, like, I'm fine with being able to continue to just be physical, continue to just kind of chip away at it. But I really do want to see one of those kind of bust and kind of get going.
I mean, you've seen it a little bit you've seen this for 2 years now with Xavier Thomas in the run game and what they've done too. You saw it in flashes or in spurts last year where you'd get 2 carries a game. Now that's gone up to 5-6 carries a game. And obviously, I think the Bradley Moore news as he's gone from probably probable to probable.
They officially announced that he's probable?
No, I'm saying it feels like he's gone from probably probable to now probable.
Yeah.
Where he continues to practice. Like, I think that does. I know you are not the biggest fan of this sentiment, but it does feel like what you did against Clemson.
Well, it does help, yeah.
Yeah, he was able to get to the 2nd level. Like, he did some stuff on the offensive line that helps you. But wait,
is he the only center that we've had that could get to the 2nd level?
No, maybe on the team. Maybe on the team right now. Actually,
I hate that this sounds like I'm like trying to.
Well, maybe on the team right now.
I
honestly,
think it sounds like I'm trying to dumb down how good he is, but that's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
But I would expect to get back to kind of maybe that version of the run game where you see you do what you did and kind of control more of the game plan through the ground and not have to throw it 47 times.
Correct, and also a balanced running game
Wait,
too.
time out. They ran the ball 35 times last week. What do you want them to run it? 45 for you to feel good about it?
Yeah, I want.
Don't say that. That sounds to me if they threw it 45 and ran it 35, that sounds to me like a team that controlled the damn ball. We had to throw it 45.
It sounds like a team that's got a hell of a defense.
You control the damn ball.
Regardless, it wasn't.
That means we're not off the field every third down.
It wasn't the amount of rushes for me. It was. I want to see the balance of them. Of get creative with the receivers in the running game, but also allow your running back to be a running back, right? Allow him to get there, but. We're not the football. Actually, Jared may be the football expert. I'm not the football expert. I do thoroughly enjoy football. We have a bigger football expert.
Oh.
And college football analyst of ESPN and SEC Network, co-host of SEC in the Morning, Florida alum, All-American, All-SEC wide receiver, Chris Doering. Chris, we appreciate you coming on the show. I want to thank Jared for reaching out to you, finally doing something for us. And getting good guests. We appreciate you, dude.
Oh, man. Good to be with you guys. Thanks for having me, and especially this week, man. Appreciate the kind welcome with what we got on tap Saturday.
Look, the fans may not, on the field be very friendly, but I'm sure you've been to some tailgates. Very, very friendly in the confines around Tiger Stadium.
I feel like I got more LSU friends than I do of any other school in the SEC. So at a 2019 year when I felt like I was on the Tiger Tour, which was awesome to be a part of and get to see, that team and the excellence with which it played. But I got adopted. My favorite sweatsuit that I have is one that String got me.
There you go.
Great hoodie, man. Like in the cold weather when you're not feeling good,
Yep.
you get home, bundle up in that. I don't rock it out in public, but it's here in the house.
I said it's comfortable. You have it. We know you have it. That's all that matters. As long as we know you got it in the wardrobe, that's the only thing. Let's jump into this. I know we don't have a ton of time. Florida last year ended the season extremely hot. Obviously, they were on the hot. Billy Napier on the hot seat. Started off kind of slow. Tough schedule, similar like they had this year. I think they surprised everybody towards the end of the year. They won some games. They had a lot of momentum. Had a lot of guys coming back. Started the season off with a lot more hype than they had last year. Top 5 offensive line, top 5 defensive line, according to PFF. Hadn't felt like they've kind of found their groove. They haven't really meshed. The talent hasn't really come together. What do you think is the issue for Florida right now, and why haven't they kind of reached the expectations that were given to them before the season started?
I mean, I think a lot of the expectations were based upon DJ Lagway and the way that he played at the end of the year last year. Everybody knows he's missed a lot of time this offseason, whether we're talking about spring practice where he was dealing with some recovery from an injury, or some OTAs that he missed, and even into fall camp with the calf injury, just hasn't been able to be available. And, I think you're seeing some of that kind of come to fruition on Saturdays, where he doesn't look like he's necessarily reading things as fast as you'd like. He doesn't necessarily look as if he's as accurate as you'd like to see. And certainly, he's not on the same page with some of his receivers at times. So, look, this is not all a DJ Lagway thing. They had a lot of success, particularly in the first couple drives last week, just bogged down in the red zone with missed opportunities and penalties and mistakes that cost you. And you guys know this as well as I do. Settling for field goals makes yourself susceptible to getting upset. And Florida kicked far too many of those last week. And I think the biggest thing, though, that we go back to is just game mismanagement, whether we're talking about substitution issues, whether we're talking about penalties, whether we're talking about timeout utilization, or even play calling in a 4-minute situation at the end of a ball game. You're running an RPO when you're trying to run the clock out and make a team use their timeouts. It just, even if you call the play, which I wouldn't, I would make the directive to my quarterback, hand the ball off regardless of what the look is.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida got the ball with 2:54 to go and ran 27 seconds off before going 3 and out and punting it right back to USF. So the offense didn't do their job. They had a chance to win. I think Florida plays down to the level of their competition far too often. But even when you're not playing your best, you got to find a way to close the game out in the fourth quarter that you have a lead. They're not able to do that too many times.
CD, you are literally touching right where I wanted to go with this situation. In year 2 of the program, year 2 of being there, Jaden Ball, 6'1", 230 plus. He has had a great start to the year, but like you said, they haven't chose to continue to really use that run game throughout the game. Coming here in this situation with a quarterback you're trying to get on board, trying to get him where he needs to go, knowing you're on the road, it's a tough place to play. How important is he, do you think, to this game plan, and how much do you think they actually stick with him throughout the ball game? Because like you said, if you use him more heavily towards the back end of the last game, you may close that game out and finish it.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, you guys know this being in Louisiana, like Billy Napier, dating back to his days at Louisiana, was known, he was a run-first coach. Like, he wants to have an offensive line that can move folks off the line of scrimmage, wants to be able to run the football successfully, and then have the ability to throw off of that running success. It just, there's not a better back for a 4-minute situation than Jaden Ball. You talked about his size. The dude runs physically, nothing more that he loves to do than to run over opposing defensive players. I don't care if the box is stacked. Run the football. He's going to pick up 3 or 4 yards. You're going to force him to use a timeout. Early in that ball game, I think he had 5 carries for 51 yards on the first drive as Florida went right down the field. I want to say that he had 8 carries in total in the first 2, and then they kind of got away from him. Two of the things that I have a problem with as it relates to Florida in general. One, offensively, I think they try to show how smart they are. That was one of the things I loved about LSU's game plan against Clemson is like, if it's working, keep calling it. We don't need to do things differently just to show how deep our playbook is. I thought Florida tried to get too tricky and trying to look too smart when it had success just running the football right at a team that you should be more physical than, that you should be bigger than, you should be more talented than in USF. And secondly, I think they try to keep too many people happy by rotating folks in there. And I understand, it's important to rotate folks to build depth and to keep people fresh. But far too many times you're taking your best players off the team. And I think Florida needs to shorten their bench, to use a basketball term, a little bit in an effort to keep those guys, keep Jaden Ball on the field a little bit more. I love Jacoby Jackson as well. Certainly the entire group of running backs is very talented. But Jaden Ball is an old school running back that feels like he's going to take a toll on the defense the more carries he gets as he gets into the third and fourth quarters.
CD, football is obviously an athletic, physical game. There's a lot more to it than just the physical side of it. Obviously, there's a psychological side of it. There's the outside noise. Last year, we heard it a lot of Billy Napier. Hey, this could be it. Fired midseason, tough schedule. They have that same conversation this year. The schedule's even tougher this year than it was last year. With social media and these guys, and look, I know they're getting paid and they're getting treated as professionals, but they're still young. They're still in college. To try to separate what's happening off the field with what's happening on the field and keep them locked in, how much is that, do you think, affecting the guys on the team? Not necessarily Billy, he's a professional, he's been through it, but the players, the guys on the team, to kind of not hear the noise and go out there and play the game that they need to play.
Yeah, first and foremost, you talked about the schedule. Man, the schedule was tough before the season kicked off, and then week 1, you see what USF does in terms of upsetting Boise and now look like the Group of 5 favorite to be the representative in the college football playoff field. Mississippi State all of a sudden is not a gimme. Miami looks good against Notre Dame. Florida State's a totally different team than last year and pushing around Alabama. It's got to be the most difficult schedule in the country. Now, with that being said, you got to show up and play the ball games. You played primarily the same schedule last year and fared pretty well down the stretch, including a game against LSU that you were able to win. I give Florida credit last year. I don't think I've ever seen a more remarkable in-season turnaround than what Florida had after basically starting the season 1-2 in the first 3 weeks of the year, losing a disappointment in Knoxville, losing a disappointing game against Georgia, where your 2 quarterbacks go down against Tennessee and against Georgia, getting blown out. I mean, we were down 42-0 against Texas in the first half of that game, and that was 2 days after Scott Strickland, the athletic director, gave Billy Napier the vote of confidence through the end of the season. People are thinking about, what the hell are we doing here? Somehow they find a way to rally, win their last 5 ball games, and everybody thinks that all of those issues have gone away. Well, here we are again dealing with a lot of the same issues. The question is, can the locker room galvanize again like it did last year and put a run together? Florida fans are incredibly negative right now. I've heard so many of them wanting to talk Billy Napier buyouts and what are we going to do here? Who's the next coach? It is difficult, I imagine, for players with social media to not hear all the negativity, not be contacted by fans. But for whatever reason, they were able to do it last year. I think the question is, can they replicate that thing and try to create some positive momentum like they did last season?
Man, so like inside a building, it should always be win, win, win. Like that's the conversation. It starts, it ends there. There's really nothing else to talk about. Outside, we know it's looked at a lot differently, and we see how things go. In Florida, in Gainesville, around the program, if you're looking at things from a vacuum, you got USF, they go to Miami and play this week. Win, lose, or draw, let's say they play a great game there. And let's say Florida comes down here to Baton Rouge. Win, lose, or draw, it's a great ball game played here. If it's not a win and you know what happens on the other side in Miami this week, and that's a great ball game, win, lose, or draw. Is this 2-game stretch looked at a little bit different outside the building than maybe what people kind of thought it was going into the year?
Bro, I love you trying to be objective here. Look at it. What would the LSU fan in you say? This
thing would be on fire, Coach.
It's the same thing in Gainesville as it is in Baton Rouge, man. We don't celebrate participation trophies and stuff. So, maybe it looks differently than what it did in the preseason. Maybe USF ends up being a team in the playoff field. But at the end of the day, we're Florida.
Yeah.
We're the flagship university here in the state of Florida. We should have better talent than USF does. We got more better facilities, more assets. I mean, there should be no time that we ever lose to USF, let alone on our home field. So that's going to be difficult to swallow regardless of what happens this week against Miami with them and ultimately the rest of the year. But, yeah, I mean, I have a problem with – I don't care who you play. Play up to the level of your own expectation. Don't play to the level of your opposition. And I think far too many times over the last 4 years, Florida has played down to the level of competition. And you guys have seen it. We've had teams over the last 2 trips to Baton Rouge that we're not as talented as you guys are. But somehow I've been able to compete through 3.5 quarters. Now, I think at the end of the game, the better team is ultimately separated, and maybe it's a depth of talent thing. But, I expect Florida to play really well this week. Something about going on the road can bring a team together in the midst of the adversity that they've already faced. So I expect it to be a great challenge that Florida will answer. The question for me is, can they finish? They have a hard time finishing. If they're in the ball game late in the fourth quarter, can they make the plays they need to kind of close it out?
CD, X's and O's wise, I will have one more LSU Florida question before we get to the SEC as a whole. Going into this weekend, obviously there's matchups and there's game planning and you have offensive line, defensive line, all that kind of stuff. In your eyes, what are the keys to the game? Like, what's going to get Florida over the top and what's going to get LSU over the top, in your opinion?
I mean, I think it comes down. It sounds like a bailout answer here, but it's a line of scrimmage league. I think what Blake Baker has done on that side of the ball is fantastic. Not unexpected, because I think we all thought he'd make a big jump from year 1 to year 2 like he did in Como. Understanding his pieces on that defense, certainly benefiting him. The pieces understanding the defense a little bit more too. So I think Florida's got to do a great job up front, protecting, understanding where the pressure is coming from, buying DJ some time to get the ball out of his hands. DJ's got to make great decisions and take advantage of the opportunities when they do present themselves there. As you guys said before, I think one of the great ways to offset some of that is to line up and say, hey, let's be the more physical team. Let's run the football with Jake Ball. Let's challenge our offensive line to move LSU's front four off the line of scrimmage. I think that's one of the keys that I'll be looking for. And can Florida create some defensive penetration?
Yeah.
That was the difference in the ballgame last year. They were able to get upfield. They were able to disrupt the LSU run game. They were able to create pressure on Garrett Nussmeier, forced him into some mistakes in addition to the sacks. That's what I'm looking for here. That Florida looked like far too many times they're playing east and west with their defensive line instead of playing north and south. So I want to see those guys being a little bit more aggressive and really giving us a good look at just how good this LSU offensive line is this year.
CD, I got one more for you, and I'm not gonna let you answer with here. We're omitting one game from this opportunity here. So if you're looking around the league, if there's an upset that will happen, where is it this week?
You can't pick this one.
No, it's in Columbia, South Carolina. If you guys have not watched Vanderbilt, you're missing out, man. Vanderbilt, everybody knows Diego Pavia and Eli Stowers.
That's a different ball club these days.
That offense is, but this team has a really good defense that I think matches the quality of play you see on the offensive side. I went back and watched the Virginia Tech tape last night. These guys are aggressive up front. They're penetrating. They rally to the football. They're fast. They're physical. They've got a deep defensive line. Really think that this could be one of the surprise teams in the league this year. And I know everybody kind of just looks at Vanderbilt through the prism that we've always known them to be, more the cellar dwelling type team. But they made a move last year. I think they're a better team this year, and I think they're probably going to surprise some folks in Columbia, South Carolina this week.
CD, I'd imagine your name's getting tossed around a little bit for maybe a head coaching opportunity at Florida. If you have Brendan Betts, what do you do for Spitgate?
I mean, that's embarrassing, isn't it? Particularly on the heels of the Jalen Carter incident. Like, we're talking about less than 48
when did this become a
hours
thing?
after that happened. And it just, the lack of poise. You guys have all played. I've never in my life ever thought to spit on an opposing player in any sport.
Never.
I don't even know where that comes from. It's completely, I think it's the worst. I'd rather somebody fight me than spit on me.
No doubt.
And so I don't understand why that seemed like a good idea. The lack of any sort of awareness. You're in the middle of trying to finish out a game that you haven't played very well in. You got a chance to close them out, and you get a 15-yard penalty behind the play because you can't, control your emotions. I would. That I've heard some of the players say we love him and he's still our guy. Somebody's got to get in his face. Somebody's got to hold him accountable. I think it's one of the problems that Florida has. I want to know who the alpha is on the team. Who's the enforcer? Who's the guy that strikes fear in the rest of the team? And so that has to be dealt with in the locker room. Forget the suspension thing, whatever happens there. But somebody in the locker room's got to deal with that stuff.
Yeah. CD, we appreciate you. I know y'all got a big announcement on Friday, so I'm not going to ask and I'm not going to ruin it. I'm going to let y'all have y'all's moment on what the bet is, but I always look forward to that. I know it's been a rough one for you for the last
Well, not last year.
not last year, but on average, you're on a little scuffling a little bit, and then last year you got back on it. I'm hoping it's as good as it has been in the past, but we appreciate you coming in and joining our show.
It's hard, man. It's hard. I think we may have reached the pinnacle with the baseball uniform now the SEC media days. Like the embarrassment of showing up at the Gainesville airport in an LSU Tiger baseball uniform and on the flight. I love getting upgraded, but on that flight from Charlotte to Nashville, I got upgraded to 1B, which is the very front seat. As everybody walks in, they're all making eye contact with me. I couldn't have had, in terms of perfect placement, to have to, be embarrassed. And then the flight attendant, she goes, "Hey, I'm not supposed to talk to famous people, but you guys, you on your way to a game?" And I'm thinking, this isn't high school. We're not getting dressed in the gym on our way to get on the bus to go play. So the way people looked at me and interacted, it was definitely one of the more uncomfortable bet payoffs in my lifetime.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable to watch as a fan of y'all's show. But, again, I appreciate it, dude. Thanks for taking your time and coming join us tonight. And hopefully we can get you back on here soon.
Yeah, anytime, man. Great being with you guys. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. I mean, their bets are money.
Yeah, that's great.
And the deal is, it's not like, you got to wear like a sweatshirt or a hat. It's like, nah, you got to dress up.
You know what I don't mind? You know what I really don't mind? I don't mind adding another warm body in purple and gold. Even more so, I don't mind adding another notable name in purple and gold that's not used to wearing one. So it's good to see him.
No doubt.
I'd like to see him have to do it again after
I will say this, dude. Like, baseball uniforms aren't that comfortable.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, especially when you don't have them
all
fitted.
sporting uniforms are not made to be worn in regular public.
No.
This is not what it's for.
No.
That's not what it's for.
So that was a great bet. I'm curious to see what they do this year. But look, going back to the Florida.
I mean, he kind of pulls it off. He looks like a coach.
I mean, dude, he's put together. I mean,
Oh,
obviously
no
keeps
doubt. I
himself
mean,
in,
he
like-
can't keep his shirt on, but he does look like somebody.
He does.
He looks
He
like he's
does.
going on a recruiting visit.
Hey, the
does.
best thing he did to hide himself was actually put sunglasses on, so he doesn't have to stare anyone in the eye.
I love the stirrups too. The stirrups was a great. That was a great addition.
That's
to that.
incredible.
Great addition.
But he does look like he's going on a recruiting visit.
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder if he signed the guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he did. Maybe he's a great recruiter for LSU behind the scenes.
I wonder if he added the sunglasses or if that was actually like part of the outfit, or he was like, "Nah, I'm not looking at. I can't be looking at."
I think the sunglasses. I hope. I mean, regardless, it was a great addition for him.
Shout out to String too. Shout out to String sending
Yeah.
the nice what is it, the jumpsuit that he has that he
Yeah, he won't show it, but he
admit
says he's got it.
Wears it at the crib from time
Yeah.
to time, and it's
He's
about
got
to be
it.
that season. So I appreciate that.
He's got it. Look, he talked about obviously the game. We didn't want to get too much into the X's and O's. I kind of wanted to hear more about what he talked about, how Florida's kind of handling the situation, from a fan's perspective and a college football analyst perspective, what has been the issue. Look, no matter how good you are, you have to have plays and snaps and time with your team to be able to find that continuity. And, I made a good point about Lagway. He's been in and out of the lineup. He's been hurt a little bit leading up to the season. You can kind of see that as the season has progressed so far early, is they're not clicking because they hadn't had a ton of time with each other preparing for the season.
I'll say this, and I think Florida's kind of obviously going through this. They're obviously, in my opinion, further along in this quote-unquote process than the other one I'll mention. But I think that the key thing when you're looking at a program that's got a standard, a high set expectation, it's losing games to teams that you shouldn't be losing to over and over. Like, not to say over and over again, like as if they lost to USF over and over again. I'm just saying the unexpected losses are the things that you're like, okay, you have better talent here. You have better facilities here. You have better coaches here. You have better pay here for players. This can't be a thing that goes on here. And I think over time, when you start seeing those things show up and just rear their head over and over, those become the things where people start to question, who do we have at the top leading this thing? Yeah. Because those are the losses that can't happen. I think think of how long we sat here and quote unquote, if you want to call it that, stomached Les Miles losing quote unquote to Alabama. You stomached it because you knew you still had a good team. You knew we would still be in it. You knew by the time we got to that game, that was either the make or break part of the year. But when you have something at the top that's making you lose,
God, how many times
one-off games here and there to where like it's, they run into it for them. Last year, they run into a 4-game winning streak at the end of the year. That shit didn't matter in the big scheme of college football. Now, it mattered for them to get them into a bowl game and make it look like they're ready to make a move. But those are the runs that's supposed to turn your team from good to legendary at the University of Florida.
Right.
Not from you might get fired to you'll be back next year type of situation. So I think like that's the things that they start to look at. That's where they are, and they're tired of those things happening there. I think obviously a little bit quicker, but because of what they expected, the Alabama fans, they're tired of things like that happening there.
Great.
Because they're not used to that stuff. So that's kind of where those things go in those situations.
We have Ask Mikey and Mitch Wednesday. Throw your questions in the chat if you haven't done it already. Our interview with CD, a.k.a. Chris Doering, a.k.a. CD, brought to you by our newest sponsor, Alumni Hall. It is the gold game this weekend at home against Florida. If you have not gotten your gold attire for the game, I have the perfect place for you. That place is called Alumni Hall, located in Perkins Road, right next to Barnes & Noble, across the street from the parking garage of the movie theater, located in a great spot. Unbelievable store. Has all of the LSU gear that you can possibly want. Listen, Bayou Bandits are out. Now you don't have to pre-order anymore, right? Oh, no, you can. Still pre-buy. You got to pre-buy the Bayou Bandits shirt, but they got gold. They got collared shirts. They got quarter zips. Look, you got a little taste of fall weather for a couple days in the morning this past week. It hopefully continues to get better weather where you can wear a little bit of a quarter zip at night. If you want overalls, they got the overalls. If you want belts, hats, whatever you want, they have from every brand you can possibly imagine. Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar, and so much more. For every $150 you spend, you will get $10 of hall cash towards your next visit. So go in there, support Alumni Hall, support LSU with all your gear, and spend some money and support the Tigers.
Wear gold.
Wear gold. Are you wearing gold? Are you wearing gold?
No, but
I will not have gold on either.
Not about me.
Y'all boys not wearing gold?
I don't think I own one piece of gold
Selfish
attire.
motherfuckers, man.
You got
God,
gold?
dog.
You
Wear
wearing
one of
gold?
Alice. I know she got some gold shit.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna fit me.
Oh yeah, break in case of emergency.
Hey,
Get
wear
that-
the crop top.
Get the crop top
Wear the
out.
crop
Yo, put
top.
a little jacket on top. Nobody will ever
Think it's so
notice.
Go up
funny.
in the suits with the crop top.
Nobody
Can you
will ever
imagine that?
notice. What do you mean?
Could you imagine that?
I mean, you know what this means.
What does it mean?
We have to go to Alumni Hall.
Gotta go.
I want to participate.
I gotta go. Actually, I do have to go. I'm gonna go tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. I'm gonna go tomorrow. I gotta go. Actually, I gotta go visit them anyway to go talk about
This.
our partnership. You know,
It'd be a great time to, if you grab one gold shirt, grab another. One big and tall for you, one large for me.
I don't need a thing. I need a big and tall, dude. I'm not tall enough or wide enough. Come on.
Damn,
yeah,
why
it
you
can't
doing that
fit.
like that?
It's
Coming
Damn.
at you. I'll go get you the small.
Okay.
You know, I'll get you the kids. Maybe get a kid discount. XXL kid size.
That's right.
Yeah,
And a kid's meal with it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
McDonald's is right there.
right there, right there.
Oh, my
All
goodness.
right. Ask Mikey and Mitch. Do we have any
We
questions?
do not as of now.
Okay.
But I'm going to check. Look at, Chris Doering talked about the spit. I mean, if you're going to get one
That was a
off-
big one. That was a big
I'm about to
loogie.
say, if you're going to get one
Yeah.
out, he spit right in this man's mouth.
That's disgusting, bro.
And it wasn't
Oh,
like
my God.
it wasn't compact. It was sprayed.
Yeah, that was a weird.
It was almost like you took a sip of water and
That,
just
was like
Hydrated.
dribbling
a
down his neck.
lot of saliva
It's
coming out
dribbling
there.
down his neck. Is in his chin strap, but he went somewhere in the nose.
Oh.
It's the most disrespectful
That's
thing ever.
fucking. Hey,
National
kudos.
recalled it Gatorade.
I will say this: kudos to 56 for keeping us cool.
I think he was shocked.
Look at his reaction. Whoa.
It's crazy
Hey,
that
see
Listen, here's another thing too. We don't want to talk about this. If I get you to the level that you doing that,
I've won.
I've won.
bro, I'm so deep in your shit.
No doubt.
I am literally doing backstrokes in your shit, just spitting up water. I'm all in your dome, son. Like I won, cuz if that's where I got you, this ain't no spitting contest. So if this is where I got you in a contest, I won, dog. I won. You weak, and that's why. And if you look at it, that's why one's standing and one's getting off the ground. Because I won. I got in your head with what I just did to you, probably with what I just said to you, that you felt the need to do this. I won. You lost.
And
You
literally
lost.
won the football game for him.
Yeah, and then
It did.
and then we went and won the football game.
It did. It did. And look, Florida's defense didn't play bad. You know, I mean, they played fine. I mean, they're just offense couldn't score touchdowns, and then when you do stupid shit like that, not great, Bob. Not great.
It's crazy how that even college kids are still so impressionable from the NFL. Like that happened a week ago, and it's
Yep.
like now this is all like
Right.
This
Right.
is Jalen Carter's fault technically. So Georgia's still beating Florida on and off the football field, but it's crazy to me that this traveled that quickly. From I'm gonna do that too now because I've seen it,
No doubt.
and it's like this one I haven't seen that in my life. Now
Ever.
I've seen it twice
Ever.
in 2 weeks.
It's not good. I don't love
It-
I don't love that trend.
Well, no, because it's such a hard thing to not a hard thing to I guess officiate, but it's weird that it's a.
It's a hard thing to officiate.
It's weird, because Dak did it too. If Dak was the one that was caught first,
Yeah,
they're
but
not
no, he
kicking him out.
didn't, dog. Go
It
look
wasn't
at-
the same. But
Listen,
I'm
I
just saying,
spit on. I mean, football players spit on the field all the time. It's just spitting
He spit
at
at-
somebody.
See, no, but see, here's the thing. And here's the thing with the Dak. I'm not at all condoning what Dak did. I'm not. Please don't understand that I'm saying that. But the camera
one's a
angle,
misdemeanor, one's a felony.
the camera angle that we got that showed what Dak did, the one that they show
Yeah.
the most, doesn't give you the backed up view of what they show after and show you that the man was 3.5 yards away. Like that shit fell 1.5 yards in front of him.
Yeah, right.
So from that, and then with that being said, the man was a good 3 yards in front of the football on the wrong side of it. So with that being said, it's like, okay, so I did that, and then you challenged me to come walk to you, and then you spit in my face.
Yeah.
I won.
Yeah, right.
I won.
Right.
You know how many people I can like if I'm standing on first base and there's a guy and the first baseman's talking shit to me, and I just spit in front of him.
Yeah.
You think he gonna spit in my face after? Like, no, dog.
Right.
Like no. Like
doubt.
I'm not condoning what Dak did. I'm not. But it's like the one wasn't the other, bro. Both spit ain't made the same, dog. Like it just wasn't.
What I'm saying, what's a felony?
It
What's a
just
misdemeanor?
wasn't. It just was not at all, man. One's a slap on the wrist. The other one's like, nah, cuz you got to go.
One's community service, one's jail.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. Let's pivot to this conversation while people get off their ass and put questions in there and produce our show for us.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit about the LSU baseball schedule that came out. Before we really start jumping back into the football thing, I do want to hit on this. I don't want to run out of time. Obviously, LSU defending champions. They have a extremely difficult SEC schedule, specifically on the road, right? Their home series are Oklahoma, Kentucky, Texas A&M, South Carolina, and Florida. Obviously, Florida always tough. South Carolina storyline, I get it. Texas A&M, supposed to be good. We'll see what happens. They've been pretty inconsistent. They weren't good last year. Kentucky is Kentucky, and Oklahoma, okay. They lost their best player in Kyson Weatherspoon. Now, where it gets tricky is the road. You go to Vandy, to Tennessee, to Ole Miss, to Mississippi State, and at Georgia. So, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and Georgia were all in the top 5 at one point last year, right? So you go all those teams on the road, and the biggest question mark is how are you going to take away the LSU-Arkansas in-season matchup? It's just that one, if they're going to have automatic opponents in football, you got to have the same stuff in baseball. It doesn't need to be the same teams, obviously, but the Arkansas-LSU regular season games have been classics every single year, and they're two of the best teams in the country every single year. That's got to be on the schedule.
It's got to be on the schedule, and it's for a couple of reasons different than what football is for me. So the Arkansas-LSU situation, those have never, or I'll say it this way, I think it's a better way to say it. If those teams are who we kind of expect them to be, or anywhere near that area of team, they're going to get in the field of 64, which gives them the opportunity to get to Middle America, right? And so for me, it's not like what, and I still love the fact, or want it to be LSU, Alabama playing late in the year, probably in November every year. That's what I would want. Obviously, that's not the case right now, right? But that's what I would want it to be. That game does at the end of the year and how it used to be. Obviously, right now it may change a little bit because you can have a loss. That game in the past was basically either propelling one to being in a playoff and or college football bowl game, that type of situation, or it was sending one to the outhouse. That's not really the same thing with baseball. So for those marquee matchups, I feel like those need to be there because those are ones we want to see and possibly see come back around somewhere in the postseason as well.
Yeah. No doubt. It's just, go look at the matchup last.
Home schedule is ass.
Ass.
A&M, sure.
It feels like they're making the LSU Tennessee thing.
Yeah, of course.
Every year.
Yeah.
Right? Great.
Yeah.
It's great for college baseball. It's two very polarizing teams for different reasons.
Dartmouth. Kentucky always seems to get put in. I know they're boys, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
I don't know how they do the schedule.
Yeah, that doesn't. I don't know.
A&M, sure.
A&M will always be there now. They're trying to make that the
Oklahoma
rivalry.
baseball. That seems like it'll be fun.
It's just the other thing is how are we going to go to Texas and not bring Texas here?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that happened.
Yeah,
that way. You would think, especially with the newcomers to the conference, if we're gonna do one goes at home, if Texas had come to LSU last year, I would still feel the same way. Why would we not go that way? Why are they not going there?
Correct.
So it's not just they need to come here. I feel like those newcomers should have had those home and homes with the teams that.
And I want to see our friend.
See last year. Yeah,
I want to see Nolan come back to Baton Rouge.
Maybe Nolan put something up. They got to call that. Maybe he did this shit.
Yeah, maybe he didn't want to do it.
We ain't going there. We ain't doing that.
Texas does seem to have been very much ingratiated into the conference with whether it be their football schedule or their baseball schedule. They have some favors in the SEC office only being here for a year.
Yeah.
It's a little dumb.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, glad I said dumb.
They definitely didn't draw the short stick.
You almost said something else?
Yeah.
Let's just put it like this. They definitely didn't draw the short stick when it comes to
Oklahoma may have. I talked to an Oklahoma big-time Oklahoma fan, the Water Boy podcast. He ended up in the hospital after his first week in Baton Rouge, so shout out BR. Got another one.
Get you.
It'll get
I'm going to throw this back around, too. That Oklahoma game by the end of the year.
What did I?
That's
doozy.
I said that last week. That was 2 weeks ago. I was like, that's the one that scares me.
It is looking like a doozy right now.
Here's the real deal.
Hey, look, all the games are going to be tough. You got a long ways.
Does he reminds me of Baker Mayfield, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The way he plays the game, he reminds me of Baker.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good. He's confident. I guess his offensive coordinator followed him there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's familiar with the scheme.
They're basically the same age, too, by the way. The guy's super young, man.
I think he's like, what?
He was a high school coach 5 years ago, I believe.
Crazy, dude.
Crazy.
But yeah, he looks really good. Obviously,
They both
their
be
team,
gambling on the game.
Their defense is always going to be good.
Yeah.
Like their defense is always going to play well. Now they got an offense that can do it. So that's going to be a tough game. Got a long season before you get to that. I hope both teams are in the top 5. You know, by the time they play each other, that'd be great.
At Oklahoma, get Boomer sooner.
I would hope. You know,
Topple the carts again.
yeah. I mean, we've played Oklahoma in big games and usually come up on top.
I asked him
It's going
about
well for
that.
us, yeah.
You're not happy about the question.
Yeah, I'm sure he was not.
2003, 2019.
2003.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, you said 2003. 2020. No,
I mean,
2003. You're
We
right.
turned a Heisman quarterback into a dentist.
Yep. Well, that's what Cam Vaughn said. He said we ain't letting him. Like we're gonna show you how you're not the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Same way with Eli. He ain't gonna win the Heisman on us.
Uh-uh.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, Oklahoma fans they care a lot about. I've never really met one.
Well, dude, I mean, you would imagine
They got a proud history, man.
they
They're
do
like
have a
this.
proud-
There's
Yeah,
a lot of
they
tradition
love
there.
to talk about that.
Yeah,
My
they
God,
have
I
a
was like,
proud
I don't-
history.
brother. I don't know what you're talking about. Like Brian Bosworth is all I know about Oklahoma football.
Oh,
Yeah,
stop.
it.
Stop, dude.
They got all these Heismans, all these first overall. Stop. And recent too. Like, don't. If you say that, then you're just telling everybody, listen here, I don't really give a shit about anything if it ain't wearing purple and gold.
That's
Like, I
right.
literally don't look at
Yeah.
anything unless it's wearing purple and gold.
It's-
That's really all you telling people, right? Don't do that to yourself.
I do my job.
No, your job is to be a fan of it and also know what else is going on. Don't do that.
I mean, when I think of Oklahoma, the first person I think of is Darren Sproles,
Oklahoma.
Kansas State.
Jeez, I know.
Oh, I was about to say, dude, like, I was trying to
Well,
figure
say
out
thank you.
Darren Sproles didn't go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Thank you, Darren Sproles.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. But, look, they've been good for a long time. They do have a proud history. Obviously, they hadn't won a national championship in a minute, but I've had some talented teams, and they look like they are talented. Now, like I said, long season, tough schedule for both teams. We'll see what it looks like at the end of the season. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. Big
No.
game this weekend.
Big game
This weekend. Very excited about the game this weekend. Do we have any questions?
We have some they have we called on the people and they have responded.
There you go. Appreciate it.
Appreciate the chat, appreciate the club. Thank you for all of your questions, and we will get into Ask Mikey and Mitch. And PSA,
Yes.
Cajun Curveball,
Hey,
he put in his parlay.
we got Friday, though. That's what we talk about.
No,
Friday.
he put it last week. Remember, he gave
Oh, yeah. How did it go?
winner.
Hey.
Hey.
Kyler Murray over rushing yards, Marvin Harrison touchdown, Cardinals money line, plus 440. And it hit.
Well, this was obviously did this on Sunday. Probably didn't.
Yeah, but he talked about it on Friday.
he said that's what he was going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about parlays. Like, what do y'all, that was his Ask Mikey and Mitch question last
That's
week.
right. Maybe do it again.
Yeah, he has another one in here.
Perfect.
But it is not the first one. But we go to Ask Mikey and Mitch, and our man. Oh, let me get to him. I just had to relive his parlay because I was proud of him. Zachary Boudreaux. Ask Mikey and Mitch. Who do y'all like for the Heisman to this point?
Nobody. It's 2 weeks into the
2
season.
weeks. But if we had to pick the Heisman, I'll give it to Mathieu right now.
I was gonna probably say the same name.
I'll be honest with you, man. I don't really
Like
think
today, but
I don't really think. Yeah, if it was a today thing, I got one for you. I just don't think it's going to continue to go that way. But I do think that this team is a lot better 1 year after a debacle. Thomas Castellanos has been real good.
Yeah,
Like,
he has.
real good.
and also they say
Like he's been a difference maker.
they pronounce it Castellanos.
He's
It's supposed to be Castellanos. I would imagine that's how that
people
name.
say it
but, you know.
different parts.
You're right. Tomato, tomato.
I've
Never heard somebody call it tomato unless you're from England.
I haven't. If you put that name on a chalkboard and showed me who it was, I would not believe you.
Oh, okay, I mean, that's fair enough.
Fair. But
Fair.
that's my answer at this
He's-
point today.
He's balled out.
Yeah.
Matier's balled out.
Tell you what.
No smile.
No, I mean not now. If we had to do it today, that would not be the Heisman winner.
I'm trying to think of a defensive guy.
None.
No, there's none.
Who makes a big enough impact in 2 games that you say
Right.
Heisman winner?
Right.
I mean, he'd have to have
It's
two.
tough, but
he'd
like,
have to have 2-3
for the-
pick sixes already.
Oh
or
yeah,
something
defense
crazy.
side. Yeah. For the sake of that question, that would be my guess.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Okay. Where'd it go?
I'm actually very excited. I'm
Fonz-
very excited to watch
Fonz
the
Ferrelli.
Vanderbilt game.
Ask Eminem. What's your I have to have it food at a tailgate?
I like a nice jumbo. I mean,
jambalaya.
a jambalaya or gumbo or something like that.
Something
not super heavy, but a little bit of weight to it. Kind of give me something a little base. I need a little base.
As Mama says, a gut sponge.
Yeah.
I like a jambalaya.
Yeah,
I love a gumbo, but like the jambalaya, I mean the gumbo's hard because you have
You're double
it's
liquiding.
It's tough, right? Jambalaya is great. I like
Chicken fingers.
no.
I like those because it's easier to eat. Like I don't need napkins. I don't need to be able to put. I could just eat this and I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like stuff you could like
Finger food.
pick and yes, that you could.
See, I like those, but then everybody finger fucks everything, and you don't really know like what's going.
Oh,
it is what it is.
you have the
You just grab and eat anyway. Like I don't really make a big deal about it, but then when you think about it, you're like, damn.
Yeah, but you know.
How many people touch that?
Because there's people like Michael that'll like rummage around for the
Me?
good one.
I don't do that.
I've seen
After
it.
he just had after he just pulled a booger out of his nose.
yeah.
You're like, hey, yo.
The first thing I touch, I eat. That's it. That's it.
I will finger fuck the French fries. I'll grab like a couple. Like I won't make a plate.
See, but that's the thing. French fries are a bad tailgate food.
I think they're great.
I think French fries are a
at the
bad
party
tailgate.
box. They're perfect. They're right there. You grab a couple.
Well, I think
keep
it's
it
a bad
moving.
tailgate food because like it's too many individual things you can touch.
Well, we got
It
too
is.
many kids at the party box, so yes, it is a problem.
Gumbo or
Yeah.
jambalaya? Give me those.
Yeah, give me
Yeah, I like
jambalaya
those.
Give me those.
I like those.
and a boudin ball.
Maybe some wings.
You look like a Boudin Link type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't like the actual wings because then it's a mess. You gotta do whatever.
Oh my
What we
god.
got? What we got next?
Ask Eminem. J. Mitch, taped ankles in football or nah?
This makes me laugh.
Ankles.
No, it's not even spat. He's literally asking about ankles.
Ankles.
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna rat nobody out. I ain't gonna say no names, but like I did tape my ankles, but like we had some dudes that it was mandatory, like had to tape ankles.
Right.
But we had some dudes that just got in good with like maybe like some of the like GAs that would tape. They'd be like, hey, I'm not taping my ankles, so leave me alone. But then what they would do is they would get a roll of tape and just put the one around the top so it looks like it's taped up under the sock. And pull the sock up to that and just go. And I'm like, geez, bro, all out of control. So it makes me laugh because I think about that. But I did, yeah, I didn't mind.
Offensive lineman. I mean, the whole team. You said the whole team was mandatory.
Yeah.
Tape. Wow.
If you're playing, I'd imagine.
There was ways you can ask for like it to be a lighter spat too,
Yeah,
so
right.
it wasn't as bulky and stuff. But yeah,
Did you like the tape and the spat, or did you just like? The
I never
tape?
spatted. No, I
Okay,
just
so you
did
just
tape.
tape.
LSU
Yeah.
is not.
The only
like,
time
I wouldn't have spat. I didn't like.
I spatted mid game one time because I got it like my ankle turned, but I
Yeah,
never
right.
really like.
Right.
I
Looks
I didn't
cool.
do- yeah.
But LSU apparently, like Hester talks about this all the time. That now, obviously, things have changed. But that like spatting was almost like a no-no because of the Nike contract.
Yeah,
They wouldn't
there was
be-
a lot of things we couldn't do. Like even like back then, spatting was a no-no. Sleeves were a no-no. Visors were a no-no.
Mm-hmm.
All those
Yeah.
things, like everything that those kids pretty much do is like swag these
Yeah,
days.
yeah, right.
It was like not a.
So you're saying you wouldn't wear the double watch on the field like some receivers? do?
Double mouthpiece.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Show the back.
The grill,
plate.
the
No.
grill mouthpiece.
We, I
too.
mean, there was wristbands and stuff we had, but like there was a lot of.
Oh, that was the day and age of the skinny wristbands.
Skinny
and you had
wristband,
guys
yeah.
wearing 17 on their legs.
Yeah, you had the skinny wristbands.
Put them on their knees.
Because we didn't do like we couldn't do. I don't know if we could do. It just really wasn't a thing. But like the high socks wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
Paraloo did it.
So, yeah.
I think he was the only one
Yeah,
to
wear the
like,
high
it was-
socks?
We should have known then.
Yeah. So like it wasn't, like that's kind of where it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the longest time LSU was anti-visor. It was just
Oh
like
yeah, it was like
a rule.
And then
anti-visor.
They used to make. I don't know. They may still do it. Make all the offensive linemen wear those knee braces.
Yeah, I think they still do.
I think they still
That's
do
kind
that.
of like around
yeah.
the country type
Right.
thing too.
Right.
That's
all right.
funny. Ask Eminem. Oh God, this makes me think of what I don't know what Caleb Williams was wearing on Monday night.
Fingernails.
No, I don't. God, do whatever the fuck you want. But the undershirt was an atrocity.
What, the practice undershirt? You don't like that?
What the fuck are we doing? You're the starting quarterback.
You don't like the gray practice undershirt
It's like
under
he
the
walked
uni?
out of Dick's.
Let's at least get the blue one. God, dog.
I mean, would people already think you don't care about the game and you show up like you just rolled out of bed, like, oh, got to put my pants
Well,
on?
then he had the first half, and you're like, okay, this guy's, and then
Is that like
It flipped.
is like not looking cool now? Like if you play good, I guess it don't matter. But it looks like you're so unserious. He has the
Yeah.
same nail guy as Angel Reese. Take that. For
Angel
what
Reese
that-
and some water over there in Chicago.
Yeah.
I
she
wonder
is.
if he. So, like Caleb Williams, I don't know. It's kind of off the topic we just brought up, but like Caleb Williams, to me, I wonder if. I think game 2 is a big teller for him because to start the game the way he did, and then for it to kind of go to shit the way it did for them, like, are you able to go back to the board and say, hey, see what it looked like when you were really on and we stayed here? Now there's some things maybe I can do better and are different as a coordinator, as a play caller to help you, but like, are you going to trust the things I'm trying to teach you and go forward with? Because like, can you grow? Because man, like I don't know, people like forget, bro. You 17 games. I think he had 2 different coaches, maybe a couple different coordinators. They're all trying to tell him different messages, and then you go through that. There is a unlearning, unwiring part that you once again you don't really get a chance to do and can't because you're not live, right? And so like, okay, you open the first part of it and you're able to do it for a little bit. Can you start growing that sustainability with it? And now I wonder too, and this is not football to analyze. This is more of like a feel type thing, but same thing. If it doesn't grow to me off of watching him in that undershirt, like, and I say that because nobody else on the team on the field had the gray undershirt on. So somebody said, hey, yo, what you doing?
Yeah, bruh.
I bring that up because I'm sitting here saying, makes me feel like, are you one of them dudes like just nobody could tell shit to? Like you're not coachable.
Right.
You can't talk to him.
It's
like he thinks he knows it all. His shit don't stink. Is he one of those guys? Because like that's kind of where I wonder, because I don't think of going back to like his USC days. Was he wearing the gray undershirt under the uni? The gray one?
Yeah.
No,
I know he wore. So. I know everybody got to like the bigger, like the loose shirt. But was he wearing the gray one? Because I know they do gray like workout gear stuff too. So like, was he wearing that one?
Yeah.
And so like, I bring that up for that. Like, are you one of them dudes that you really think is you?
Lawyers can find out.
And then the world's just know around you at that point.
Well, here's the other. You talk about like unwiring, like, and then we don't even talk a ton about the NFL, but you watch him like super athletic, right? Can make things happen. Sometimes he almost does that too early, too much.
He plays so fast.
Of trying to like
so
wiggle
fast.
around, try to figure out their way. Like sometimes he kind of gets out of the pocket too early. If you watched the way Josh Allen did it, he did it when it was necessary, but he still would step up and move out. It wasn't always this enormous run back 25 yards, make everybody miss you, and then come back and try to make this crazy play. Now, there's going to be times where he needs to do that, but it's like, can you unwire that? Can he make it to where it's a happy medium between?
The game doesn't look slow to him right now. Even like when he's like playing well, it looks like he's on like turbo all game.
Right.
Okay, so think of it this way.
So he did.
Right there. So it's not the first time he's worn it. So like put that in mind too. But it just feels like that's a little weird. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, look, maybe this thing.
So it's not the first time. So it's actually good to see and know that he's been doing the gray undershirt thing.
Yeah.
I will say this about his game, and there is a maturation, there is a comfortability that comes with experience and growth and time into a system. But like, you speak of Josh Allen, I also think of like Lamar right now. Like Josh isn't like faster than the league.
Right.
Lamar is. I'm not saying Josh isn't fast.
Correct.
But he isn't faster than the league. Lamar is faster than a lot of people in the league. And I bring that up because if you watch him play right now, it don't ever look like he's playing at top speed.
Right.
But he's still moving faster than everybody.
That's what makes him so
like
good.
You bring it to like a basketball court and you watch like a Ja Morant. It don't ever look like he's like top speed, but he glides and he does everything that he wants and he gets to the spots. He elevates over. He does these things. So like when I think of like Caleb, when you watch him, I'm not saying he's got Lamar type athleticism, but when you watch him play, it looks like it's in fast forward. It looks like it's on turbo. And it's like, can he get to a spot to where the game starts slowing down and he doesn't speed himself up like that?
Yeah.
That's kind of the reps and the like the unlearning of the stuff you were doing last year, because it was all just bad and it's not necessarily all on him. I just want to see if you can kind of grow that what you did last week, that first quarter, that first 10 plays or whatever, and grow that into maybe a half, grow that into maybe 3 quarters. Like, is there that kind of growth in there? I think this one's a huge week for him.
Correct.
The question was, ask him full undershirt or sleeveless for the game uni when I got to Magic football or.
The styles changed, the swag's changed.
Yeah, right.
Like,
well, whatever Caleb Williams doing ain't swag. That's
I was sleeveless, but like I was high school.
Yeah, but I think that thing changes too. Like if the wave was the skinny wristband right now, I feel like a lot of these kids would be wearing skinny wristbands. Yep. The wave has been the baggy undershirt. That's what everybody's on right now. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people will still be on that. Like that's just kind of what it is.
What's the next one?
Everything's going back to bigger. So like it's going to keep getting bigger. You know what you might get next? You know what
a hoodie
is? No. You know what I think's next? I don't know if I love this one either. You know what I do think is next in terms of especially football uniforms? Can you guess? Either one of y'all can guess what the next wave is.
I have no idea where you're gonna go with that.
No guess?
No guess.
No guess, Lloyd?
Oh, I'm gonna say the fanny pack, whatever. Put your fingers in for everybody.
The loose joints.
No,
The loose what?
no, dude,
Sleeves.
no. But
Like
you're probably
basically like the practice jersey.
right. Yeah,
Oh, like the actual uniform, like not the undershirt, but like the
like
the old school quarterback jersey.
Like this will still be fitted.
What makes you say that?
I've seen some guys doing it in practice.
Ah,
This will still be fitted, obviously, but like the
It looks
sleeve
so
will be
bad.
the loose
I know what
sleeve.
you're talking about.
yeah, that looks terrible. I hate that.
I feel like that's the next part of the
Everybody wants to be comfortable.
The trend right now, or what's fad, or what's in right now, is looser, bigger clothes, and it's getting into sports, and I think that's what it's going back to. I do.
Good.
that's next.
If you do that, well, you got to wear knee pads.
That's the one I can't get. Everybody wearing the pads like literally halfway up the.
Yeah, no pads.
that was kinda
just
crazy.
wearing like you're wearing girdle.
I mean, it wasn't good enough to be like right over the knees. Like I don't understand why they're like halfway
Yeah.
up the thighs.
Yeah, now you're wearing like your fucking girdle.
Yeah, I guess kind of. I don't really.
Literally no
I
pants.
don't really understand that one.
Yeah.
Like I truly just don't understand that one.
Ask him and him. Oh,
It's
here's
more of a
here,
comfort thing.
Cajun curveball. CMC TD 49ers money line under 40 points. He just bet against the Saints. That's all he's doing.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what he's doing.
Nice. I'll ride.
So is he giving us the bet? Like,
Yeah,
is he
that's
trying to
it
tell
is.
us, Is this the wave? Get on.
CMC touchdown 49ers money line under 40 points.
Money line with no Brock Purdy.
Is he out? Is that it?
I think they say it seems like he's gonna be out for a few weeks. He said, but he's hadn't just made a decision on this weekend, which made no sense. But
Who else do they have over there?
Mac Jones,
Mac Jones. Is
Oh, Fat Mac.
Fat Mac.
An old bag of milk.
Doesn't matter. He's at one of the league's quarterback rehabilitation centers.
Yep.
So
He is.
he may get better.
No doubt.
Ask him
It's
and
the starter
him.
pack. This is the starter pack if you're not the trainer.
Yeah. Free 14-day trial. Ask him and him. Do y'all get a buzz quick at the tailgate, or are you trying to time it up for walking into the stadium?
You ever seen
I'm an
this-
all-day drinker.
You ever seen this guy on the
I
game?
don't get it quick. I don't get it quick. I get it
It's
long time.
He sprints the marathon.
Mhm.
I'm right there with you.
I'm right. Listen,
When
I
you
am,
drink as much as Mikey
So you
does.
on
saying your
game-
buzz pretty quick?
Huh?
So you saying your buzz pretty
No. On game day, like I can make it a long time.
Long time. Game
Long
day
time.
for a day.
Yeah.
Game
So
day
that
for
means
me
you're
too.
buzzed for a long time?
Yeah.
I'm buzzed for a long time.
So that means you're buzzed pretty quick.
No, not quick. It takes me a little bit to get there, but then I sustain it. I don't get too high,
I don't get too low.
and I don't get too low. Like when I get to where I need to be, I've
coast.
mastered the
So you talking about like 11, 12 o'clock?
sustainability.
Like
No, I'm not even out there. I've been getting out there I got out there last time at like 2:30. Probably 2 o'clock this weekend.
Drunk
And
at 4.
Probably probably. I would never say
I wouldn't
like
say
I'm
drunk. No.
feeling
Like,
good,
happy.
feeling good. To where I'm looking at you like, man, if I could just bottle up this feeling and put it in a pill, I'd be the richest man in the world. Feeling. That's probably around 4:30.
Yeah, right after you go to the bathroom.
What? And then that's you.
Uh-huh.
And then you get there and you sustain that till you get into the suites or with the game, and then you just continue
big
that.
sweet guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, big
Jesus.
sweet guy.
Big sweet.
A lot of
Big
people,
sweet
there's
guy.
a reason that they're
Big
called the
sweet
sweets.
guy.
Big sweet guy.
Or you just be a fucking man of the people and you shove a bottle of whiskey down your pants and walk in.
I told you what happened last time I did that. It popped in my pants and I had freaking
Whiskey
crown all
pants.
the way down
Yeah,
my
whiskey
fucking-
dick.
Yeah, no, and it was great pants. It wasn't like I could hide it.
Yeah.
That's a good look.
Looked like you peed on yourself. Now I peed whiskey.
Yeah.
That's a good look.
If you could make that, that's $1 million idea.
You smell like alcohol.
You,
son.
son, what happened to you? I used to look up to you. My
You've
son,
been drinking? No, I really haven't. You
I was
smell like
gonna.
alcohol. Well, the reason why I haven't been drinking actually is because I spilt all over my pants. So
Smell my knee.
you are correct. I do smell like alcohol, but I do not have any in my system. It's just on top of me.
Smell my hip flexors,
Yeah.
not my breath.
Yes.
Any other ones?
Yes.
Okay.
Ask him and him.
Couple
Do we
more?
need to get a certain average rush yards in the game to win? Or do you, the defense will be winning the game for us?
Average rush yards per play. I mean, I think that's a hard thing. I don't think it's the average amount of rushing yards per play. I think
No, it's in the
total-
game. Like, is there like a number?
Oh no! Look, I think if I would like to see them rush for similar to what they did against Clemson. I think 130 would be very, very good. If they got anything over that, I think you're looking at a blowout.
Yeah, I think 120 plus puts him in a good spot. Obviously, I'd love to see him just get to triple digits. I think that's important to be able to have that element to your game. But Yeah, that's where I'm at. I think 120 plus is a spot that puts you in a good position to be able to throw the ball the way you want to. Probably has you in a good position to where you're. I'm not gonna sit here and say you're leading and you're in front in the game, but you're in striking position in any chance.
You know what's wild? Like whenever they had Jaden and the offense was like number 1 in the country, we're talking about what are they gonna get, and we're like, oh, if they got like 300 yards plus passing and like 180 rushing, you're like, I'll be good. I'm like, yeah, 200 rushing. Yeah, it's 500 yards of offense. You think that'd be okay? And they got it. Majority of the time, they had
and they lost
those numbers. And
4
they lost.
games.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Ask J. Mitch, Randy Jones, Uncle Randy. Was baseball or football your favorite sport in high school, and was it different or the same at LSU?
It was based off of
How I played.
what's today?
No.
Is it October?
Football now.
Football
Yeah,
is
it's
favorite
football
at the
for me,
time.
baby. Yeah.
Yep.
And then if it was, is it May? Yeah, go ahead, give me that bat. Then that's where I'm at. That's where we at. That's what we're doing. That's kind of how it went. I don't know how else to say it. That's literally how it went. Whatever season it was, that's what I was locked into, and I pretty much didn't pick up the other one until it was like on the other side of it.
Until your last year at LSU for baseball, and you said, okay, I'm not doing spring football.
Tired of talking to that, man.
Still the same thing.
Yeah,
like
right.
spring football basically cut into baseball season.
Oh yeah.
So
you're
like
right,
it was
you're
kind of
right,
the same
you're
thing. Yeah.
right. You're right. Next.
I'm reading. Oh, Uncle Randy. Yeah, hell of a golfer. Jesus.
Randy.
64 is my low round. 66 in tournament golf. Good lord.
Jesus.
That's a
How
step.
many times you play a week, man?
Yeah, you had a little Randy? All right.
Wow.
That would be a great member guest partner.
Pretty good.
Ask him at him. With NIL and rev share, how damning morale-wise would it be for the fans of when and if LSU loses Elijah Haven?
How damaging? Like, listen.
How damning?
How damning? Listen,
Like for the morale.
I get it. You have the number 1 quarterback in your class in Baton Rouge. Like you want to get him, like it, especially for, the way it looks, the optics of it. As far as like damning, like that's a hard, just because what if you get the guy that's right behind him that ends up being better than him, right? Like the conversation is, okay, if you have the option between him and Nussmeier's little brother, who's also one of the top 5 quarterbacks, I think, in that class, like what do you do? Because you're not going to get both of them. And so I think that's just a question that the coaches have to figure out. As far as damning, I don't think it's a damning. I'd like to get him. I think he's a great player.
Let me ask you all this. At the end of the year, when it's all said and done this year, and I'm just throwing this out here as a hypothetical, so like when it comes to a win-loss record, how many L's do you expect, or do you think, or do you foresee being in Michigan's schedule this year?
I mean, they have one.
They have one.
So let's
just off the top of your head, like you don't even have to look at this.
I would say 3 or 4.
3 or 4. What about you, Lloyd?
What was the question? I was typing in the chat.
I said, at the end of the year this year, when you're looking at Michigan as a team, and you're just looking at them and you say, all right, what would be the number of losses you would expect for or would think that they would have in that loss column this year?
I mean, it's
well.
You don't have to look it up, just like off the top of your head, because like, we're not gonna. I don't want to go through their schedule. Like,
yeah, but I have to.
I would say 3, and I'm looking at their schedule. They don't have a tough schedule. They play Ohio State at the end of the year, obviously.
Okay.
They're at Nebraska. They're at Central Michigan. They play Central Michigan this week. At Nebraska, Wisconsin at home. At USC, Washington. At Michigan State, Purdue, Northwestern, Maryland, and then Ohio State.
They'll lose 2 more games.
So
3. I think 3 is probably a good number.
So this is why I asked that question. Is it great to have that guy get some experience and get out there and play? Sure. Obviously.
Yep.
Awesome. But the truth of the matter is a school like Michigan or a school like LSU or one of those schools is not here and they're not happy about a 3-loss season.
Right.
And so I say that because the wave of where this thing has gotten, you truly want the right guy in as opposed to just being able to get the top guy.
Right.
I don't know. I've never met Elijah Haven. I don't know anything about him. So I am not speaking about him as a person and who he is.
Yeah, because from all reports, he's an awesome kid.
But the point I'm making is because of the money and the opportunity that's thrown out there around the country, is someone going to pony up and say, we'll pay you more and you can play now? As opposed to LSU being like, we're trying to win now.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, it's really going to be hard to keep you here because you want to play now.
Yeah.
Right? And so that becomes the conversation of it. How do you keep him here? And even if you get him here, is he happy sitting for a year, understanding that this is probably something key for the growth and maturation of him as a player and as a person?
Right.
So, like, though, those things are kind of, that's the situation you sit in nowadays with there being so much money in NIL and opportunity for guys to jump is, yes, man, like at the root of it, it is so awesome to be able to build from the ground, meaning getting high school players in. But there's only one guy that's gonna take snaps as a center, year in and year out. And if you're not that guy's looking for a spot somewhere else to do it.
Yep.
Right.
And that spot usually isn't on the other side of the field or on third down or any of that shit, right?
Yeah.
He's got to be the guy that's taking 90+% of those snaps. So that becomes a situation is it damning for you? I wouldn't necessarily say yes because I don't know how real it is that number one type quarterbacks go and sit these days.
Correct.
Or are okay with going somewhere and sitting
Well, they
because
could
of the
play.
money and the opportunity that's thrown at them.
So you mentioned, like, do you want to get paid the money to come here? And I'm not want to get. I don't, like I said, we don't talk a ton of recruiting, but there's a kid and I think he's a 5-star tight end at a Ruston.
Yeah.
Right, baller. Right, Hudson. Yeah, Mahd Hudson. He's a good big time basketball. He came out and basically said, hey, it's not about who pays me the most money. It's about where I feel like I have the best opportunity to develop and go. And, like, you'd like to hear that, right? Is it true? I hope. We don't know. But that should be, hey, look, you're going to get paid. No matter where you go, you're going to get paid. It'd be nice to see people have that mindset where it's, hey, you know what? Because, look, Bryce Underwood could say, I could have gone there, LSU, and sat behind Nuss, who's going to be a first-round pick, and then started the next year, had 1 year of experience, and not started as a true freshman, and maybe he had have a better year. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe it doesn't matter.
And you got to think too, man. Like, and I bring it up for this because the prism of it is different for that position compared to any other. Point in case, look at DJ Pickett. If DJ Pickett is not the starter as a quarterback, he doesn't have any snaps on the year so far. He doesn't have to start to be like as a freshman to come in knowing you need to earn your stripes and getting the opportunities that he's gotten in game right now. He feels damn good about his opportunity to either slide into a starting spot or be a huge part of what happens in terms of wins and losses this year.
Right.
That's not going to happen for a quarterback. Most likely that's not going to happen for a quarterback. Very little opportunity is there for you to get in and play at a school like this. So it a lot of the times for those guys becomes best fit. And for a school like this, I wonder how much of the closed door conversation is understanding we need a guy with some experience. Those guys usually cost, and they got to come in and play now. And we need them to be good.
Yeah. Correct.
The last two of LSU's best have been literally that.
Yeah.
Like that's where that conversation is.
Yeah.
So at that position, I don't know that it's the same thing as every other position. Let's just put it like that.
One more.
That's it.
Oh, that's it. Perfect. Thank y'all for all the Ask Mikey and Mitch questions. We appreciate y'all's
Mitch, yes.
support.
Go ahead. I didn't know if you
No,
were
I just said
sponsor.
appreciate y'all's support. No sponsor. Go ahead.
Why'd you call me?
Because it's your favorite time of the year.
Injury report.
Injury report season. It just
Wow,
dropped.
how is that my favorite time of the year?
You're the one that talks about it a ton.
I do not talk about this a ton.
Does he not? I think you mentioned it a lot.
No, I don't.
No, not really.
I feel like you like the fact that they have to put one out.
I mean, I do.
I
like
do
that.
like, but I don't like. I don't like.
I don't think
mention-
I mean, you're not like lurking on the list.
I love the injury report though. It looks good. I mean, no surprises, no pop-ups middle of the week.
Yeah.
We also had Sadir Mitchell, no longer with the team.
Yeah.
Oops.
I don't know why, but Brian Kelly did come out and said that we have a standard here. When you don't live up to that standard,
You don't get to be on the standard.
you don't get to be part of the standard.
That's what it was.
And so I don't know why he was not. I don't know what he did to not be part of that standard, but obviously it was something warranting
You ain't playing.
him to say, "Hey, sorry, see ya."
Back to Texas.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can go play for the Saints.
How does that work for those kids these days too? Because
I mean, you usually don't get kicked off the team.
yeah, but see, like you get bounced in the middle of the season. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what happened
are
there.
you going to the next big school? Like, you sit out the rest of the year? Like, how does that work for? Like,
Back to the
nowadays?
lab.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Does he finish out the semester here as a student?
Fuck no.
What is that?
No, he's taking a gap year now.
Yeah, travel abroad.
Yeah, gap year. Find himself. He wants to figure out what he wants to do with the rest of his life. Yeah, he was taking a gap year.
Sit here.
Yeah.
But I guess you start putting out tape
What
and
tape?
like putting your.
Is LSU giving him his practice tape? Like what tape?
Yeah.
You're right.
Like that's so many questions I got.
Yeah.
Bad spot to be in.
His high school tie tape is going to be sent out again.
Yeah.
You know, that's basically it. Hey, look, I was very good.
America's
very big.
America's Got Talent.
Maybe.
Remember me?
There you go. I've
Yeah.
transferred twice,
Mm-hmm.
but, you know.
Played about 5 snaps.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right. Great Wednesday. Great Ask Mikey and Mitch. We appreciate CD coming on our show. He is obviously great. Hope to have him on again. We'll be back live in studio on Friday from 1 to 2-ish, talking all things football, talking gambling. We are bound. We're going to hit our parlay. There's going to be a time. Hang with us. We've gotten close. I messed up. Jared messed up. Lloyd's not going to mess up. So we're all going to get this thing right for this weekend. Other games, talking about obviously around the country, around the SEC. Talk more about LSU, Florida. So join us on Friday. We'll be back live. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Please like and subscribe. What am I doing?
I know, you're skipping everything.
What am I doing? We got our Seggies. before we get
Locked
to that.
in.
We are going to be live on Friday. We also got Seggies. Mistake of the day.
Brought
Lloyd?
to you by
I
me.
thought they called it pregnancy brain.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's what's happening.
I didn't know that dad gets it too.
It rubs off. Mistake of the
Rubs
day.
up. Contagious.
A Royal Caribbean passenger accused of jumping overboard to dodge vacation gambling debt. A man accused of owing a cruise line nearly $17,000 in gambling debt jumped off the ship to avoid paying. Jay Gonzalez Diaz, was booked under the passenger name of Jeremy Diaz.
Is it?
Is it Diaz? Was detained by Customs and Border Protection, the CBP. Hours around 9:45 in the morning Sunday near the port of San Juan after he allegedly jumped off the Royal Caribbean's Rhapsody of the Seas during disembarkation, according to a criminal complaint. Security footage shows Diaz being brought to shore by 2 passing jet skis. They found $14,600 in currency in 1 backpack, 1 handbag, 2 mobile devices, and 5 identification documents in Diaz's possession. Authorities say the suspect was pulled from the water by 2 passing jet skis. When he asked why he jumped off the ship, he told the officer in Spanish that he did not want to report the currency on his possession because he thought he was going to be taxed duties for bringing in the currency.
What?
That's a $16,000 debt that was almost exclusively associated with the casino and gaming expenses.
So
now
casino
I don't know
gives-
if he won or not.
So the casino gives him a credit? Like, it sounds like he owed the casino the money, so he didn't win. Right, debt. You said you won or not? What do you mean?
Well, because, yeah, why do you have the money?
Well, you can't have a debt if you have the money.
Well, they had a book back. Okay, oh no, I misread it. The cruise line told investigators that Diaz had $16,700 in debt that was almost exclusively associated to the casino and gaming expenses. My bad. I read it as if like that was in his backpack.
Oh no!
No,
but here's the deal. Like, I didn't know cruise liners gave you like an actual like
A line of credit.
line of credit,
You're supposed to be able to prove that you have it, like you can afford it.
and maybe you could, but like
I don't want to pay it.
I just didn't know they offered that on the cruise line.
Is there a better way to get off the boat though? What do you think that you could like a busy place?
It's a big boat.
Yeah.
You can imagine there's like areas you could find to hide and figure out how to sneak out of there
Right.
without having to.
Jump off.
Yeah.
That's the worst case scenario. Like,
Also, a
they're
big
gonna
boat,
see
so it
you.
doesn't feel good jumping off the boat.
No, but mistake of the day. Now he faced up to 5 years in prison and $250,000 in fines.
So it was more than $16,000.
Yeah, he has done. Went from 16,000 to 250,000.
And probably ruined his ability to get another job that could allow him to pay that.
Yep, it's
Yep.
Nope.
All right. Curtain call.
a mistake of the day.
That is a good mistake today. Curtain call. Lloyd.
My curtain call, and this is twofold.
Okay.
After 14 seasons, Anthony Rizzo is retiring from Major League Baseball.
Ah.
Yep.
I got mine. I didn't put it in there. It was in my head, but go ahead.
It's okay. I have another one for you in here if you want it.
Okay.
Rizzo, obviously this is near and dear to my heart, won the World Series in Chicago in 2016 and is retiring as a Cub.
Yeah, you love that.
I do. 'Cause
And the Cubs are hiring him to do the same job that
play first base.
was it Sandberg had? Was like the
Wow, yeah, a fitting replacement.
Yep, the ambassador of the Chicago Cubs.
He is.
You know?
Awesome dude.
Yeah.
Great Cub. Never should have left. Not his fault.
Honorary Tiger.
That's right.
Honorary
Would've been
Tiger,
an
no
LSU
doubt. No doubt.
It would have been a great. They would have
He
had.
spent many a Saturday nights on
Listen,
another planet, but on
one
that
of my
planet
best-
he was on sideline at LSU.
One of my favorite moments are some of the home games and the after the home games of ours hanging out, and then him after the national championship game. Great time.
I saw him out. Yeah.
Great time. He may not remember seeing you,
No.
but we had a good time.
Nothing but love behind those eyes.
Yeah.
And dovetail, another Cub. Kyle Schwarber has hit 50 home runs.
50. MVP maybe.
I hope so. He's another. That team was one of the best teams. A fitting Cub team to break the curse.
It's the beginning of September. He has almost a full month, probably 3 weeks left of the season.
Like you said, the new age Matt Stairs.
No doubt.
Yeah,
I feel like if Matt Stairs was in this day and age, would hit.
Yeah.
He wouldn't come off the bench.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he would do what he did off the bench, but just every day. You know, now maybe Schwarber's better than him, but like Matt, that's
New
what Matt-
age. That's the
a
definition of new age.
Right. You know,
It's
like
the 2.0. It's a new age.
100%. Like Matt Stairs walks, so Schwarber could run
There you go.
Or
You know what I
jog.
mean? Or jog.
Everybody good? First of all, I want to
Oh, let's
acknowledge
talk about that
500
What they got in there?
big
What they got in there? A little
That's some whiskey. That's some beer.
That's some beer. Yeah, 50 homers a
You've
lot.
had an unbelievable year.
60 is in play. He's gonna have to have a great
Homers in a
month.
season.
60.
You're the 34th.
Look at
Definitely
him.
in play.
It's always a great month, but
Great teammate too.
History.
Great teammate.
Congratulations.
like, oh, this is about
You
that.
got a hell of a year. You're good.
Great dude.
Everybody good?
Great dude.
Oh shit! You talking about me?
all
All
right.
right, I'm in.
So, what was the, was that your other curtain call?
No, that was just
Okay.
me because being a Cub, just Cubs
Yeah.
guy.
So this is for me. My curtain call. You're gonna tell me my curtain. Oh yeah, career ERA sub-2.
Lowest ever in first 93 career starts in Major
Lowest
League
ever.
Baseball.
He
History.
I guess he just had another start.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine he's got 3 left. On the
Oh,
year.
Paul.
Cy Young.
Done.
You'd have to imagine. Cy Young, lock it up. Give it to him now.
It's kind of crazy, and I'm not trying to toot our own horn, but people didn't really get on that conversation until you got to like postseason play, and like the whole season we have been like, man, I'm really not trying to be like this isn't a hyperbolic statement I'm giving you,
Right.
but I've never seen someone his size with that fastball at this age be able to throw 2 to 3 and 4 pitches for strikes when he wants to.
Wherever he wants.
And they're all plus pitches.
Yeah.
And so we were saying, like, long before the postseason that year, like, man, I really do feel like if you can insert him into the big leagues right now,
3
tomorrow,
starter.
and he's a number 3 at worst.
At worst,
At
that's
worst.
only because he didn't have big league experience.
At worst. And we was literally saying, like, that's because he doesn't know those guys yet. He doesn't know what they do, how they swing, how to attack them yet. But at worst, off of stuff and his ability,
Yep.
he's a 3. Like, if his next start, he gets 5 days, he has to go to the big leagues to start, he's a 3
Now.
on pretty much every team.
In college.
And it was that and better.
And he
It's
was
been that and better.
he was a 1 from the beginning he got to the big leagues.
It's been that and better. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Started 2 All-Star games in a row. Crazy.
Not just 2 in a row. His first 2. Not
His
just
first
his first 2 in it. His first 2 ever touching the league.
Yep. 2-time
Not
All-Star,
like, hey,
2-time
I
All-Star
was in the
starter.
big leagues for 3 months last year and now I got a full year. No, like I came up in May and they said, God damn.
You're the best.
You're starting
You're
the
the
All-Star
best.
game.
You're the best.
That doesn't happen, bro. That does not happen. That's where he was. So like it's
And it was like
it's impressive.
It was the performance obviously matched to where it was like, yeah, you're good enough right now, but it was also like the world needs to see you.
The baseball needs you to be out there and show out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
You got one?
I
You wanna stay that
I
one?
was all
On
over
the
the
Rizzo?
Rizzo one,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
All right, back to what I was saying before we did this. I apologize. We appreciate y'all's support. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you can't watch us, we like listening to us. Or anywhere you get your pods. We'll be back live on Friday from 1 to 2-ish, talking all things gambling and hopefully taking some winning parlays for the weekend. We love y'all. Enjoy Thursday night football tomorrow night, and we'll be back on Friday to see y'all. Enjoy your Wednesday.
Oh, you don't no animations. He's in person. He's right
I am
here.
the animation.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am Queens Boulevard. I am Queens Boulevard.
I am
It's
Queens
over.
Boulevard. Not your town. Not even
If
my
you know, you
five
know.
towns.
Yeah.